We'll start off with olive oil. Start off with the olive oil into a pan. Olive oil, a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, and then a light sprinkling of extra virgin olive oil. Heat the olive oil and fry the arancini until golden brown. Olive oil in. Now, pan nice and hot. Splash of olive oil and a little touch of olive oil. And just place another teaspoon of olive oil around the outside so it starts to heat up. Olive oil in, olive oil in, olive oil in. Get that oil nice and hot. Touch of olive oil. Get that pan really nice and ready. Topping, heat olive oil in a frying pan. 2/3 olive oil. Bring together with olive oil, drizzle in a little olive oil in. And simply heat olive oil, and a drizzle of olive oil in. Slowly add the olive oil and combine with olive oil. To study the gnocchi, heat olive oil in a frying pan. A couple of tablespoons of olive oil, and then our extra virgin olive oil. Now, olive oil in the pan. A tablespoon of olive oil. That stops the sesame seed oil becoming too rich. Add a glug of olive oil to a hot pan and brown the diced meat carefully. And add a couple of tablespoons of fresh, extra virgin olive oil. Let them stew. Olive oil on top, and add olive oil. Tablespoon of olive oil. Tablespoon of olive oil. A nice tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil. Little teaspoon of olive oil. Pan for the bread. Little touch of olive oil. Little touch of olive oil. Brings the whole crust to life. Drizzle that in olive oil. Just a little drizzle of olive oil. I want to get that bread nice and crispy. Splash of olive oil. Olive oil in. A tablespoon. Olive oil. Just a tablespoon. And the olive oil helps to sort of stick. A touch of olive oil. Spices, nicely toasted. A little touch of olive oil in there. Just a touch of olive oil. A touch of olive oil in. Get that nice. A little teaspoon of olive oil. Get that wok really nicely oiled again. Add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Olive oil, and literally roll it around the pan. Generous with the olive oil. I want a nice sort of rich, silky olive oil. Drizzle with olive oil, and a drizzle of olive oil. Once the pan's hot, pour in a good glug of olive oil. Add olive oil, then toss. I'm making a marinade for the meat with olive oil and olive oil. Just drizzle a little touch of olive oil on top of that for me. I want to keep the pork nice and moist. Lovely. Drizzle with olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil. We've got to colour the olive oil now. Tablespoon of olive oil. And add your olive oil and olive oil. 2/3 olive oil. Be quite generous with the olive oil. It makes the soup nice and glossy. Touch of olive oil. A little teaspoon of olive oil. Drizzle of olive oil. A tablespoon of olive oil. A couple of tablespoons of olive oil in. 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Glug of olive oil. Olive oil, and olive oil. Generously with olive oil. It looks delicious now, it's not even cooked. Add olive oil. Add olive oil to a flatbread. Add olive oil to a hot dish. Add olive oil to your toasted cumin seeds. Add olive oil to a hot pan. Add olive oil to a hot pan. Then add olive oil to a hot pan. Then add olive oil to a hot frying pan. Finally, add olive oil to loosen olive oil. 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 Just add olive oil.